have to be honest with you right out of the gate. When I first saw the topic for today's deep dive, my brain immediately put up like a big yellow hazard sign.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the topic is hypochlorous acid. And frankly, the name alone just triggers this very specific, slightly traumatic memory for me.
Which one is that?
High school chemistry, junior year. You know, the smell of sulfur, those plastic safety goggles that never fit right.
Right. And they leave marks on your face.
Exactly. And a teacher yelling at us not to touch anything, or we'd, burn a hole clean through the table. Hypochlorous acid just sounds like something that belongs in a bubbling beaker behind reinforced glass.
It does have a very intimidating kind of industrial ring to it, doesn't it?
Totally. Like something you'd use to scrub a factory floor, not something I should be misting onto my face on purpose.
Well, and when you see acid in skincare like glycolic or lactic, you're already bracing for a bit of a sting.
Right. So I walked into our research for today, which comes from Era Organics, fully expecting to read about some new harsh chemical that just burns acne off your face. But, and this is why I love doing this, the twist hit me in like the very first paragraph.
It's a pretty significant twist.
It's massive. It turns out this isn't something cooked up in a lab to melt your face off. Your body is making it right now, as we speak.
That's right. And it's one of the most, fascinating contradictions in biology. You have this molecule, HOCl, that is incredibly lethal to bacteria. I mean, it absolutely annihilates them. But it is completely native to the human body.
So our mission today is to figure that out. How can something be both a lethal weapon and at the same time a soothing healer? We're going to dig into the Era Organics data, understand the biology of this miracle molecule, and compare it to the scorched earth tactics we usually use on acne.
And the theme here really is gentle power. It challenges that whole assumption that skincare has to hurt to actually work.
Which is an assumption I definitely have, and I think a lot of us do. We've been trained to think that pain equals progress. So let's start with the biology. We said my body's making this. Where is it on my skin?
It's in your blood. Specifically, it's produced by your white blood cells, your neutrophils to be exact.
Okay.
Think of your white blood cells as the first responders of your immune system. They're the ambulance and the police car all rolled into one.
So they rush to the scene of the crime.
Exactly. When your body detects an intruder, a bacteria, a virus, whatever, these white blood cells swarm the site of the infection or the injury, and they produce hypochlorous acid as their weapon to kill that invader. It is literally your body's own natural antibiotic.
So if I get a paper cut and a day later it's a little red and inflamed, that redness, that's my white blood cells deploying this acid.
Precisely. That is the inflammatory response in action. The HOCl is being made to kill the pathogen, but, and this part is crucial, it also acts as a modulator. It doesn't just kill, it helps regulate the healing process.
Okay, so it cleans up and then it manages the construction crew.
That's a great way to put it. It reduces the inflammation once the threat is gone and helps speed up wound closure.
And this is what the source material calls biomimetic.
Right. And that's a buzzword we hear a lot. But here, it's literal. We aren't using an ingredient that just acts like the body. We are using the exact same molecule the body uses to defend itself.
Which explains why it's so good for sensitive skin. You're not introducing a stranger to the party. The skin's like, oh, hey, I know this guy.
Exactly. The skin's receptors don't freak out because he's on the payroll.
Yeah.
He has a badge.
But, okay, here's my question. If my body makes this, and it's so good at killing bacteria, why do I still get acne? Why isn't my body just handling it on its own?
That is the million-dollar question. And the answer really comes down to a numbers game. It's about the microbial load.
Microbial load. That sounds unpleasant.
It is. But it just refers to the sheer volume of bacteria on your skin. Sometimes, from excess sweat or oil or clogged pores, the bacteria just multiply faster than your local immune response can keep up.
So your body's fighting, but it's just overwhelmed.
It's totally overwhelmed.
Yeah.
The bacteria set up shop, they create a biofilm, which is like a protective shield, and suddenly you have a breakout.
So applying HOCl topically, like with the spray, is basically calling in the National Guard.
That's exactly what it is. You're manually lowering that microbial load. You're giving your skin a surge of the very thing it wants to use, breaking down those bacterial cell walls so your skin can finally breathe and heal.
I want to pivot to that idea because this is where I think most of us, or at least I, get skincare wrong. I grew up in the era of if it burns, it's working.
Ah, yes, the scorched earth policy.
100%. If I had a pimple in high school, I was launching a nuclear strike.
Mm.
Benzoyl peroxide, salicylic acid, those alcohol toners that smelled like pure vodka. My face wasn't peeling and red. I just didn't think I was actually cleaning it.
You are definitely not alone there. That's been the dominant philosophy for decades. Just attack the acne. And the Era Organics data highlights this contrast so well. Take benzoyl peroxide.
Oh, my nemesis. I have ruined so many pillowcases and towels with that stuff. I'd go to bed with a spot treatment and wake up with a bleached tie-dye pattern on my pillow.
It's a classic oxidizer.
Acne?
It kills bacteria very effectively, there's no doubt about that. But the cost is just so high, it causes oxidative stress to your own skin cells.
Right.
It leads to all that dryness, the peeling, the irritation. Basically, it kills the bad guys, but it burns down the village to do it.
And what about salicylic acid? That one feels a bit gentler, but it still dries me out.
Well, salicylic acid is a BHA, so it works by exfoliating deep inside the pores, which is great for some people. But if you have sensitive skin, it just strips away your natural oils. It leaves your skin feeling tight and exposed.
And then there's the old classic hydrogen peroxide. I remember my mom pouring that on my scraped knees. It would bubble up, and I thought the bubbles were the germs screaming.
That is a vivid image.
Yeah.
But yeah, those bubbles, that's oxidation. And the data here draws a very sharp line between hydrogen peroxide and hypochlorous acid. Hydrogen peroxide actually damages your fibroblasts, the specific cells that are responsible for healing and rebuilding tissue. So while you're disinfecting the cut, you're actually slowing down the repair process.
So hydrogen peroxide is like a bull in a china shop. It smashes everything, the germ and the skin.
Right, whereas hypochlorous acid is more like a highly trained peacekeeper. It's selective, it disrupts the bacteria, but because it's uncharged electrically, it can get through the bacterial wall without stripping the lipid barrier of your own skin cells. It kills the pathogen without harming the host.
The gentle power thing again, it disinfects without the collateral damage.
Exactly. And that means instead of your skin being dry and flaky after a treatment, it's calm and hydrated. You're supporting your skin's environment instead of attacking it.
This actually brings me to the big aha moment I had reading this. Because usually I feel like I have to choose. I can either use the gentle, natural stuff that feels nice but doesn't really work.
Or the industrial strength stuff that works but leaves you looking like a lobster.
Right. It's this binary choice. But this research suggests a third path. And it specifically talks about how HOCl plays with other ingredients. Because, let's be real, I'm not giving up my retinol.
And you don't have to. This is the integration piece of the puzzle. It actually plays incredibly well with others.
But wait, isn't retinol super unstable? I thought the rule was you can't mix it with anything.
You do have to be careful with pH levels, yes. But here's the synergy. Retinol works by speeding up cell turnover, right? It forces your skin to regenerate faster.
Yeah, and that process causes the famous retinol uglies, the redness, the peeling.
I've been there. It is not a good look.
You feel like a snake shedding its skin.
Exactly. So if you introduce HOCl into that same routine, you have this potent anti-inflammatory calming the skin while the retinol is doing the heavy lifting on cell turnover.
So they don't cancel each other out? The HOCl doesn't stop the retinol from working?
No, they complement each other. The HOCl soothes the irritation that the retinol causes. It just makes the whole routine more tolerable. It kind of raises your skin's threshold for the strong stuff.
That is a total game changer for people with sensitive skin who've been scared to even try actives.
Absolutely. And it works the same way with BHAs or even benzoyl peroxide if you're still using it. It acts as this soothing counterweight.
Okay, but we have to be specific about the order. I can't just, mix a potion in my hand and slap it on.
Please don't do that, no. Chemistry matters. Think of it like a sandwich. The data suggests a very specific layering technique to get this right.
Okay, walk us through the sandwich. What's the first layer?
Step 1, cleanse. You have to get the dirt, makeup, and oil off. A clean canvas. Step 2, apply the hypochlorous acid.
So the HOCl goes on bare, clean skin before any serums.
Yes. And you have to let it dry. We'll get to why that's so critical in a minute. Then, once it's fully absorbed and dry, you apply your retinol or other actives. And finally, you seal it all in with a moisturizer.
Cleanse, HOCl, actives, moisturizer. Got it.
That's the protocol.
Okay, let's talk about the products themselves, because I see a hypochlorous acid face wash and a spray. And my cynical brain immediately goes, do I really need both? Or is this just a way to sell me two of the same thing?
It's a fair question. The active ingredient is the same, but the intent and the use case are totally different.
How so?
The face wash is a reset. Its job is to physically remove debris while depositing a bit of that antimicrobial goodness. It prepares the canvas. It's for your morning and night routine at the sink.
Right.
The spray, on the other hand, is a leave-on treatment. This is where you get the prolonged benefit because you aren't rinsing it off. And honestly, the spray is the hero product for a very specific lifestyle.
The gym bag hero.
That's the one.
I really related to this because we've all been there. You finish a hard workout, you're drenched, but you have to run an errand or sit in traffic. You can't shower right away.
And that gap, that time between the sweat and the shower, is prime time for acne to form. We call it acne mechanica.
Acne mechanica sounds like a robot disease.
It feels like one. It's caused by heat, friction, and sweat-trapping bacteria against your skin. Think tight sports bras or sweatbands.
Acne, chest acne, all the fun stuff.
Exactly. The bacteria just thrive in that warm, moist environment. So the spray is the perfect solution because it's portable. You can mist your face, your chest, your back, right there in the locker room.
So it neutralizes the bacteria before they can dig in and start a party in your pores?
It buys you time until you can get to a real shower. It prevents that bacterial flare-up.
It's like a portable shower for your pores?
In a way, yes, but, and this is a huge but that I see people messing up all the time, there is a correct way to use it. You can't just spritz and run.
Okay, give us the protocol. The source material had a 5-step process.
Step 1 is obvious. Cleanse, or at least wipe off the visible sweat. Dab your face with a clean towel.
Got it.
Step 2, dry the skin. You don't want the HOCl getting diluted by a layer of sweat or water.
Makes sense. You want it at full strength.
Step 3, spray a fine, generous mist. And now here's step 4. This is the one everyone gets wrong because we're all impatient.
What is it?
Let it air dry. Naturally.
Do not wipe it off.
Do not wipe, do not pad, do not fan your face like you're at the Kentucky Derby. Just stand there.
That requires patience. I'm so used to rubbing things in, it feels weird to just stand there with a wet face.
It does, but you need that max contact time. The molecule needs time to do its work on the bacterial cell walls. If you wipe it off after 3 seconds, you're just removing the solution before it's finished its job.
So embrace the dampness for a minute.
Think of it as a little meditation moment.
And step 5.
Repeat as needed. The beauty of it is that it's so non-irritating you can use it multiple times a day. If you're traveling, wearing a mask, whatever, just keep that microbial load down.
Okay, let's manage expectations. Because we live in a world of instant gratification, I want to spray this on and wake up looking airbrushed.
And that is the fastest way to be disappointed. Skincare is biology, not magic.
So what's a realistic timeline?
According to the data, in the first 1 to 2 weeks, you're not going to see your acne vanish. What you will see is less redness. The inflammation calms down. Angry pimples look less angry.
Okay, so the fire goes out first.
Right. By weeks 3 to 4, you'll start to notice changes in texture. Smoother skin, more even tone. Breakouts might still happen, but they're smaller and heal faster.
And the real breakout reduction.
That's the 6-week mark and beyond. That's when you see a visible drop in the frequency of new pimples.
6 weeks? That's commitment.
It is. But you have to remember, you're retraining your skin's entire ecosystem. You have to play the long game.
Speaking of long-term, let's talk about scarring. Can this stuff fix old scars?
We need to be very precise here. HOCl is not a laser. It is not going to erase deep-pitted ice pick scars that have been there for 10 years.
Okay, good to know. Don't expect miracles on old damage.
However, it plays a huge role in prevention. Most scarring comes from trauma, from infection, from picking, from severe inflammation. By using HOCl on an active breakout, you reduce that inflammation and prevent secondary infections.
So the wound just heals cleaner.
Exactly. Less inflammation means less tissue damage, which means smoother healing. It's insurance against future scars.
That's a great way to put it. Now, I want to get to the don't list, because even though this stuff is safe, the source material had some very specific warnings, and one of them, I have to say, was pretty alarming.
The bleach warning?
Yes, it explicitly says, do not mix with bleach. My first thought was, who on earth is mixing their skincare with Clorox?
You would be shocked what people try from, DIY hacks they see online. But there's a chemical reason. HOCl has a faint smell of chlorine, like a clean swimming pool.
I was going to ask about the smell.
Yeah, it's a very faint, clean scent. But it's structurally different from household bleach, which is sodium hypochlorite. If you mix the two, you can create dangerous fumes or even cause a chemical burn.
So, public service announcement. put the household cleaners down. This is for your face, not your bathroom tile.
Please, keep them separate.
What about other skincare? What doesn't play nice with HOCl?
Alcohol-based toners are a big no-no.
Which is ironic because that used to be the gold standard for acne. The sting meant it was working.
Right, but alcohol just strips oils and dehydrates the skin. HOCl is trying to hydrate and balance. Using them together, you're just taking one step forward and two steps back.
And harsh physical scrubs.
Same logic. Things like walnut shells or apricot pits create micro tears in the skin. You're trying to heal the barrier with HOCl. Don't tear it back open with sandpaper.
There was one more warning about sun exposure. I think because the spray feels so cooling, people might assume it protects them.
That is a very dangerous assumption. HOCl offers zero UV protection. None.
So it is not a replacement for sunscreen.
Never. Apply your HOCl, let it dry, and then layer your SPF right on top. The SPF protects your skin and the HOCl so it can keep working underneath.
Okay, last question. Shelf life. Can I keep this bottle in my gym bag for a year?
Definitely not. It's an unstable molecule by nature. It doesn't have the shelf life of a Twinkie.
What happens when it goes bad?
Nothing dramatic.
Yeah.
It essentially turns back into salt water. It loses all of its antimicrobial power.
So it becomes very expensive ocean water.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And an expired bottle can actually start to harbor bacteria itself. So check the date. If it's old, toss it.
Okay, let's zoom out. We've covered the biology, the routine, the warnings. What's the big picture here? Why are we seeing this shift towards ingredients like HOCl now?
I think it signals a maturity in how we approach skincare.
Yeah.
For so long, the philosophy was adversarial. You had to fight your skin.
Yeah.
Beat it into submission.
The war on acne.
Exactly. We used weapons of mass destruction on our own faces. HOCl represents a shift toward an alliance. It proves you don't need to destroy your skin barrier to get it clean. You can respect its integrity and still get the job done.
It's almost a philosophical lesson.
It really is.
Yeah.
We often think that effective medicine has to taste bad or sting or burn to work. We equate pain with effectiveness.
No pain, no gain.
Right. But HOCl proves that sometimes mimicking your body's own quiet, natural defense system is infinitely more powerful than just nuking the problem.
Maybe the body actually knows what it's doing.
It's had a few million years of R&D. It's usually a good idea to listen to it.
That is a comforting thought. So next time I see acid on a label, I won't flinch. I'll just check if it's the friendly kind.
The kind your white blood cells would approve of.
Thank you so much for breaking all this down with us today. I feel like I can finally make peace with my pores.
My pleasure.
And thank you to everyone listening. Go check your labels, maybe be a little nicer to your skin barrier today. We'll see you on the next deep dive.